Okay, I'm kind of rushing through too because of the time. Next slide is we're going to move to planning your website. I want to recommend this book highly to anyone who's thinking about a website. It's called Don't Make Me Think. Steve Krug is the author. It's just fabulous. The basic premise is your site needs to be easy. Don't worry about being cute or impressing anybody. Worry about communicating with everybody. Just as an example, there's a new farmer that I'm consulting with right now, and we've had this argument. She wanted to name one of the links on her site. She wanted to have the words around the farm. Well, and I kept saying, well, what is that? What do you mean? She had a link for products, had a link for beef, lamb, chickens, turkeys, contact us, all these normal sounding links that you know what they are. Around the farm was this vision she had of where she was going to put photos. We're going to walk around the farm and show people pictures. Well, I finally convinced her. She changed the name of the link to photos. You know, it sounds real basic, but you've all been out on the web and done research. You do not want to have to look at a link and go, I wonder what that means. Should I click it? What's there? No, don't make them waste a second, because they can be gone from your site in an instant. There's so many other places to look for whatever they're looking for. Okay, next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not ready yet. I haven't even, okay. Go out on the web. Sorry, Cindy, go back. Spend time. Go out on the web and look at what other people are doing. People who have similar businesses. This is so useful. What's good? And look at them from a consumer's perspective. If I'm a customer and I come to your site, how do I feel about it? What do I like? What do I not like? Learn from that for your own site. And this, I think, is extremely important. If you're going to be selling things via a website, not even necessarily with a shopping cart, but just using your website as a sales tool, purchase from other people who are doing it. Analyze the buying experience. How do you feel about it? How receptive are they? How responsive are they? Do you feel confident in giving them your credit card number if it's a shopping cart? Improve on whatever they're doing. You can always improve on it. Shopping online requires impeccable customer service. One of the early adopters of online shopping was Amazon. They were one of my models. I want my customers to feel as good as I feel about Amazon after I've made a purchase. One of the rules, for example, one of the rules I made for myself was whether they contacted me by phone or email, I guarantee a 24-hour response. I don't tell people this. This is my own personal rule. And I cannot tell you how many times people have responded with, oh, wow, thank you. Thanks for getting back so fast. Because so often farmers, we're out working, we're busy, and we're not as on top of things as we should be. And sometimes I've tried to contact farmers and it's 2 days before they get back to me. Well, you know, if you're trying to sell something and you want that person, you want to build trust, you have to show them you're professional. A shopping cart versus selling individual items. Shopping carts are great. No, but I'd like you to think about a couple of things. One, it's impersonal. You have lost the opportunity to have a one-on-one interaction with that person. If you're selling something, I don't know, something that you're huge volume, it might be very difficult to have a personal interaction. But I don't know that I have not found it to be a problem. I, for example, make up stock emails that respond to each different type of inquiry, each different type of contact throughout the sales process. So all I do is add the customer's email address, boom, and it's gone. It's quick, it's easy, and they got a personal email from me. Just something to think about. Then think about if you want to get out there to stay in touch with folks. Do you want to publish a blog that they can subscribe to and will show up once a week or once a month? Okay. Maybe you want to send a newsletter quarterly. Weekly is kind of much for a newsletter. Maybe you want to use social media as another way to stay in touch with if what you're doing is timely. I think all I want to say about that social media, for example, Facebook, is I think it's great. It is a great adjunct, a great part of your marketing program, but I don't know that it's very wise to totally count on it. I still believe that we need websites to show the full depth and breadth of our businesses. Programs like Facebook can point people to our website and maybe use them. Yes. Hey, this is what's coming in your CSA box this week, for example. The other thing I want to say about that is if you're going to make that commitment, you need to stand by it, because you do not want your customers hearing from you initially, hearing from you initially, and then you lose interest, or you don't. Cindy, could we go back one more? Then you go, then I don't hear from her anymore. What's happening? Whoops. Oh, okay. I had one more slide at the end. There we go. The last slide. I think I'm doing pretty well on time. Okay, even if you are not ready to build your website, I urge you to first get your farm name, of course, and get your domain name now. The domain name is yourname.com, greentreenaturals.com, ladybirdfarms.com, skylinesfarm.com. That's the name, of course, that people will use to find you on the internet. And I say get it now because something happened to me and I was mad at myself. A few years ago, I thought, well, I'm going to get a domain name for melissalines.com, because I knew that it was coming, that I'd be doing work other than selling farm products. So I went online and started searching, and somebody already had it. And come to find out, it wasn't a person, it was a Greek shipping line. And their domain name was, Melissa is the Greek word for honeybee. I don't know why they picked that, but their domain name and their business name was Melissa Lines Shipping. So, they're an established business. They're never going to let that name go. So forget it. Sure, there are some other suffixes such as .org, .net, and then there's another one, .biz, but they're harder to remember. And if someone remembers the first part of your name, do you want to make them go through all the effort of, okay, is it skylinesfarm.com? Okay, I'll type in skylinesfarm.net, skylinesfarm.biz. You're making them think. Okay, ways to build the site. You could hire a site designer. Hire or barter with one. That's definitely what a lot of people do. It isn't rocket science. It can be figured out. I do mine myself, but there are designers out there, lots of designers. You should be able to get a basic website for $500. It's not a huge investment. If you really don't want to learn the techno portion of it, I recommend you do that, because a designer will not only know how to make you a site that's good and that works, but they'll know how to add for example, what's called keywords. The words that you decide, you make a list of words that you think people will use to search for your farm. Those keywords need to be embedded in all of your text. That's just one of the things that a designer can help you with, because you want, when people Google hand spinning fleeces, I want Skylines Farm to come up in the first 5 entries on the page, and that's one of the ways it happens. Okay, if you don't want to hire a designer, you don't want to spend that much money, there are services that have templates for websites. They'll provide support to help you get going. They'll get you a domain name and host your website. Your website has to live on a computer somewhere, not yours, on a computer, so that when anyone does a search on it, it is served to them. There's one I've been looking at they've been in business for 6 or 7 years now. They're still around. They're called smallfarmcentral.com. I think their least expensive service is $30 a month, and that's with a template, help designing your web page. You put in your own pictures, your own text. They'll get you your domain name, host it. You get a couple, or I think 3 email addresses, and some other services also. If you're thinking of something like this, check it out. Go to smallfarmcentral.com. There are free sites all over the internet that offer templates, and you can put in your info, your text, and your photos, and they'll host it for you. Like GoDaddy is one of the oldest ones. Just if you're going to do that, great. Just be careful. Some of the free ones force you to have a banner ad, say, running across the top of your website, advertising whatever they choose. That can be really tacky. Think about it. A lot of people are using WordPress. It started out for bloggers, and now they also host websites. I understand it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and it's free. They offer additional services to make your site more robust and charge you, but I also understand the prices are pretty reasonable. Check that out. Or I built my site. I've done it myself. I built it in 1998 with a really inexpensive little piece of software that was easy to use. It's not supported anymore, and so when this happens, they drag you along. When I did my latest computer upgrade with the latest operating system, that old software wouldn't run on it anymore. So I had to go online and get a free, what they call HTML editor. And I just open the pages that I created in this old program and type in the changes with my HTML for Dummies right beside me. And I'm not a whiz, I'm not a technical genius, but I figured it out. You can too. Promote your website everywhere. Of course, on your business card, brochures, any flyers you put up at the farmer's market. If you've got a whiteboard or a bulletin board, put your website on it. Make that just part of everything you do. It's part of getting yourself known. And certainly any articles you get written about you, any publicity, includes your website, of course. You want to drive as much traffic there as you can. Okay, next slide. I think I'm on time. Wow, beautiful. Okay, so bottom line is dig deep and find the marketing methods that fit you. There's something to fit every one of us. And that photo is my beloved Angus dog on the left, who's no longer with us. I was out there taking pictures, and I could not believe it when I turned around. He's 2 feet. He's 2 feet underground digging for those gophers. Of course, he never caught any. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Any questions? Feel free. Thank you.